Just 3 days left, but I've only got the weathering and the power weapon effects to do. Nick speaking, and welcome to this video. Right, time for another Space Wolves update, another Wulfen update, and I've made fantastic progress on these Wulfen here. I have 3 days left until my big game of 30k with Aceface. I can't wait for that game, and it seems like I'm going to have these guys finished by then. 3 days, all I've got to do is the power weapon effects and then do the weathering, put them on their bases, bit of blood effects, and they're done. So, without further ado, let's have a closer look at all the work that I've been doing. Okay, so first of all, we've got the pack leader, yeah, as you can see, loads and loads of work done. So I'm just going to spin them around, have a quick chat. So I've completed the eyes and the teeth now. I did go for green eyes in the end. The grey power armour has been blended and glazed into that lighter grey, looking pretty cool. I've edge highlighted all of the black. As I spin round to this side, you'll see that I've added some of the details. So I've put in the little wire next to that skull, painted that in the silvery colour. Just spin him around here, and he's looking really cool. He's of course got this backpack which is also finished. That's going to be on his back like so. So that is how the pack leader is looking. As I said, he just needs the little power weapon claws done, as well. All the power weapon effects need to be done on all of the models, and then some weathering. Okay, let's have a look at the next guy. So that's the next one. Also did the pink, so I highlighted the pink, just my usual blending on that. I do have a tutorial in the archives how I paint pink, so I'll link that up in the description below for you, so you can go and have a look at that if you're interested. And I've also done some freehand, just spin them around. Now, I actually ran out of 13th Company symbols from the transfer sheet, the decal sheet that I've got, so I had to make my own one up for this unit. And I decided to paint a little knife with the moon going through it. All the 13th Company symbols have moons going through. So yeah, he's looking really cool. I'm looking forward to painting his power weapon effects on his axe. I think that should look really nice when he's finished. So let's have a look at the next guy. Right, that's the next one. Again, you can see I've done the pink there, highlighted all the armour. As I spin them around, you can see I've done some of the fine details, like the little hair piece just on his Black Legion foot. Edge highlighted all the black. Coming around, I've done the 13th Company symbol, which goes on their left shoulder pad. And this is where this model starts to annoy me slightly, because for some reason the model had a 13th Company symbol on the right shoulder, which should be for the pack markings, not for the actual 13th Company. So it's a bit odd, but I suppose arguably we could just argue that he's stolen that from one of his other dead Wulfen brothers and just put it on to replace some armour. So it sort of works. Just going back to the shield there, hopefully the light isn't washing it out too much. Done loads of glazing on that just to build up the highlights. It's quite hard to do, there's quite a lot of flat edges to it, but I think it really came out nicely, so I'm actually quite happy with that. I did get the paint into the little recesses of the little rune symbol, so I went back in and I just put some more wash into the runes. But yeah, looking really cool. And as I spin them around, you can see the inside of the shield there. I've also added in some black highlights. The black highlights were done with 2 highlights. So I did Ishin Grey and then I did Dawnstone Grey. Okay, so let's have a look at the next model. Okay, so next we have this dude, and as you can see he's got that Chaos chest plate, so I edge highlighted all of that. Spin this one around. I found I had a couple of blemishes on this shield. I'm not quite sure what they were, whether they were already there or whether I had done it during painting, but either way I resolved that by putting some bullet holes in. So we've got 3 little bullet holes just on the shield, just basically to hide the blemishes that I had, and that's of course going to be weathered. So I've got one shield that's going to be quite heavily weathered and one that's not going to be, which would be a nice contrast. Just spin them around, you can see all of the glazing and then the blending on the pink shoulder pad. Again, still got his power weapon effects to do on his Thunderhammer. I'm not quite sure how I'm going to do that in terms of where I'm going to put the lightning effects. We'll definitely have my usual lightning effects though. And again, the inside of the shield. There you go, looking pretty cool. Right, let's have a look at the last guy. Okay, so the last guy there, and he's looking up with a rather angry face at that chaos head that I painted in the last update. But just spin him around so you can see all of the blending and glazing on that grey just at the back there. Again, the camera possibly washing that all out, but I've got quite a nice lot of contrast between the two greys that I used. Which was Dawnstone as the base, and then I blended up using Administratum Grey, and I used the glazing and also the wet blending to give me different amounts of highlights depending on the area that I was highlighting. Yeah, so spin them around just so you can see the front again, and that is that guy. And I've also been doing, of course, the backpacks. So I've got the Black Legion backpack just there, and the Emperor's Children, which actually goes on this guy. That's his Emperor's Children backpack. And then just very quickly show you the actual Space Wolves backpack. Again, all glazed up. Right, so that is it for this update. Like I said, just the power weapon effects to go, and then some weathering, pop them on their bases, give them a varnish, a little bit of blood effects, and they're done. So I'll update you one more time, probably after I've done the power weapon effects, before I do a showcase of this unit ready for the game against Aceface. Can't wait. Right, that's it from me. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to comment, like, share and subscribe. Hit that bell button next to the subscribe button so you can keep up to date with the wonders of Warhammer 40k. And I'll see you in the next video.